And do not adjust your settings for this episode in Monstober. Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the Digital Paul Workshop. It is I, the invisible man that annoys you by moving the stuff around your house, Techno Meow Tinkerer. And do not adjust your settings for this episode in Monstober. I'm gonna do a jump scare. Not much of a jump scare. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to be a little bit of a surprise of my trying to attempt for a Halloween costume. I'm not figuring out how to get these horns to connect to my head yet. But that is not the point of this video. This video is going to be showing you how to import and export your VRM so you can edit and use in VSeeFace. Now, disclosure, we will be going over two ways to import. One way works for exporting a VRM, or the other one I could never get to work. But if you just need to import it in for other projects, the first way will work for you. So without further ado, let me get myself back in my normal position. Let me see, we can turn here. Oh, that way you can see my horns a little bit better. And let's watch the video of me work. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is make sure you have your file extensions turned on in Windows 10. I don't know how Windows 11 is, but you want to take the VRM off of your VRoid file, and then you want to change it to GLB. Let me turn myself back. I don't like the way I was looking there. And then just import your GLB file into Blender. And this is how I actually imported it into the Scorponaut Blender file I was working on. Remember, I was visiting Scorponaut City last week. And this is how I just import. And yeah, GLB is all you need to do if you just want to bring it in for something like that. Now, I have not tried doing it with anything else further than was trying to export it out for VSeeFace. But as you can see here, I just was creating the horns. Be your typical demonic kitty. Now I'm talking about modern demonic, not biblical demonics. Horns in the Bible was not a sign of demonic activity. It was actually a sign of power, because in the Middle East, most of the animals they herded, like cows, sheep, and goats, all had horns. And of course, we know the horns are used a lot of times for fighting and defense. Later on, it became, I think, through Renaissance or Medieval or Gothic period, where it became synonymous with evil. But that was the first way to import. Now, as you see here, I have an add-on I need to bring in. This is what you're going to need to export. This is also the add-on you need if you want to import for VSeeFace. But I just did a Google search for VRM add-on for Blender. It brought me up to this GitHub page by Saturday06. And so this is the one you're going to need to download and install. And let's get on over to Blender. Go down to Edit, Preference, and then click on Add-on, Install, and you go wherever you put that zip folder. And I keep all my downloads in a specific folder. But you install the zip. You do not unzip the file. You install the zip folder. And you go down to Save, Preference, down there, three little bars. And you might as well just go ahead and restart Blender, because of the simple fact that it might not take until you restart. And there you go, you got a VRM there at the bottom. And now if you're going to bring in the GLB file, you have to go through and add all these bones in first before you can export as a VRM. And trust me, this was time consuming to do this. Now for the hands, I'm guessing the 1, 2, and 3 is like the root into the tip. It's like, I think it's like each little joint. I don't know 100%. So I don't have a tracking device for my hands, so I really don't know. But the problem is, I couldn't find the jaw here. The problem is when you have first export it as this JSON file, JSON, JSON, and then that's for your bones, and then it can export the VRM file. And there is an issue though with for some reason it was saved in OneDrive. I don't know why it was saved in OneDrive for. I don't remember. I have to go look, but I had to go. It took me a while to go back and find where I put it. But the issue is, as we bring it into VSeeFace, you notice my hands are sticking up right there on the right. I end up enlarging it so you can see it better. But yet it brought me in backwards, the arm sticking straight up, or not straight up, and my mouth wouldn't move. And so that was something I couldn't find. Of course, you've noticed there the horn is inside out, so I had to go back and flip. Actually, I had to do a couple things. I had to do apply side. I did apply size and flip for some reason, because I did a duplicate. So for some reason, that horn did not want to work well for me or work correctly. So the next thing, the way you bring it in for VSeeFace, where it works, is you import the VRM file instead of GLB file. This is one reason why you definitely need add-on. Now, for some reason, importing the VRM file takes a little bit of time. Yeah, actually did not seem like it took this long when I was doing it. But yeah, it takes a little time to bring in versus GLB and go ahead and get all this other stuff out of the way. And of course, I just copied the horns and brought them on over from the other file to this one before I export it. And then you can export this as a VRM file. And what's beautiful about doing it this way as well is you don't have to sit there and go through all the bones. And go down here to export VRM, and see, you only have to click this export anyway. I don't know what that thing was. Didn't fully pay attention to it. I was just mainly trying to get this thing to work. At least get it. I export it out and over, and then fill out all the nuances. And now you see, you got me in my current state. I will have to try to figure out how to get these horns to connect to my head, where my head moves. I have tried parenting. I have tried joining. I have not actually tried join, then merging the vertices and see if that does anything. Or I might need to do bones. So I'm going to have to do some more research to figure out how to get these to move with my head. But that's pretty much for the video today. It's another short one. I hope you find this information useful and helpful for those of you who's trying to do similar stuff to what I'm doing. If you like my content, please like and subscribe and share this video with anyone you think might find it useful. Have a wonderful Monstober and a blessed day.